Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another amazing episode of the Pitchside Podcast. Welcome to it. Today we have Excellency, Skipper. You are going to have to take a back seat today.
Yeah.
We have Sir Mamelodi. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
You could have said that in French.
Merci beaucoup. Je suis très enchanté d'être ici.
See.
Some lessons right there. Did you hear that? I can't teach you everything, Mr. Gwenya.
Tomi, you well?
I'm all right. How is it?
Amazing.
Good, man.
We're taking a look at our trip coming up, going to Tanzania to play young Africans. And who better than our leader, Sir Mamelodi, to come in and just give us a bit of background and understanding, because on our social media platforms, we've been getting a lot of love from fans in Tanzania saying they are looking forward to playing against Sundowns and seeing Sundowns in Tanzania. The first thing I want to find out from you is around the culture, the food. What can we expect when we arrive in Tanzania?
Look, I can tell you one thing already.
Yes.
The entire country,
yes,
not only the younger supporters,
yes,
but the entire country is looking forward to this game.
Okay.
For them, it's the biggest game ever that Yanga will be playing against Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yes.
The reason being that Mamelodi Sundowns today is one of the powerhouse of African football.
Yes.
Everybody knows it. And on top of that, for Yanga, even though they exist since 1935,
yes,
compared to a young club of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yes.
But when you look at the record, when you look at the awards, Mamelodi Sundowns is far ahead of Simba, but of Yanga.
Yeah.
But recently we've seen Tanzanian football improving a lot.
Yes, indeed.
And as a matter of fact, in this Champions League quarterfinal, for the first time ever, you have two Tanzanian clubs, Simba and Yanga.
Yeah.
And both of them will be playing almost at the same time. Simba will be playing on Friday, and Yanga Mamelodi Sundowns on Saturday.
Same stadium.
Same stadium.
I like that.
Benjamin Makapa.
Yeah.
Then 60,000 seater. They say 60,000, but always they push almost 80,000
Yeah,
in it.
I know.
It's very interesting that they have come out and said that, because on social media we're getting so much love from the supporters saying we cannot wait to see chameleon football on display. So it's going to be a very interesting game, because if, for example, I'm a Tanzanian and I support Mamelodi Sundowns, that means I'm going to have to do it in the corridors where no one can see me.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. Then coming back to the food, I think that the food is almost the same everywhere in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, on that aspect, I think that Sundown will have no problem when it's come to the food. And I also believe that today, most of the top clubs, because I've seen it, even, for example, the last game of Simba against ASEC Mimosa in Côte d'Ivoire. I was there. I attended the game. I went to the Simba hotel just to greet them, because that is football. It's about fraternity, friendship, and everything. I was amazed to hear them talking Swahili to the chef, and I asked them, but this guy, is he the chef? Is he from Tanzania? They say yes. They invited me for lunch, and I was surprised. All the menu, the food that were there were Tanzanian food. Yes. They fly in a chef
100%
to cook what they are used to eating, which is very important. And I was really impressed. Then I asked the president of the club. He said, no, that is our way of doing things. We always travel with our proper staff, our chef, to make sure that our players are comfortable.
Amazing.
Then I don't know if that is the case with Sundown, but
Definitely
most of the top club in Africa doesn't leave anything to chance anymore.
Legend, but he didn't tell this guy the atmosphere that he must anticipate when he gets to that.
Look,
The stadium itself.
you take Yanga. Yanga is a crazy team when it comes to its fun.
Yes.
In 2022, they had to play a Sudanese club
Yes.
in Kigali.
Okay.
Now, for the first time in the history of CAF competition, from what I know,
Yes.
the Yanga supporters drove 20 hours with 2,000 supporters to Kigali to go and support their team. 20 hours drive.
I know that.
And they defeated that Sudanese team in Kigali 2-0. But to move 2,000 supporters. And believe me, if they are given a chance
To come here,
if they do a good result, let's say in the first leg,
they will come.
don't be surprised that they organize themselves to come and have a say in the stadium in the second leg. That's how passionate they are, and that's how organized they are.
Do you think then that arriving there as a football team will be facing some sort of football hostility? By that I mean, of course, they will be supporting their home team, but as a player coming into such a game of such a magnitude, I'll never forget traveling to Egypt for the Champions League final. I've never seen such a thing. That kickoff, I think, was 8 p.m., but by 2 p.m., the stadium was already full.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, we are in a fasting period now.
Yes.
I think Yanga requested for CAF to play late at night. It will be 9 p.m. that side, which will be 8 p.m. here.
Okay.
Then to give a chance to the many Tanzanian players that are fasting, probably some of the Sundown players also will be fasting, so that we can have a better quality game, because it's not easy to fast and play.
Yeah.
But what I can assure you now, at the moment in Tanzania, it's the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Everybody is waiting to see Mamelodi Sundowns land. But of course, it's football. And when you look at the Sundown side, it's not a side that can be intimidated by the crowd, the public, the atmosphere, and everything. I think they went through it in Africa. You were just telling me about some of your experience now in Africa.
Yes.
While they can come with trick, just trying to destabilize the visiting team in order to score a goal or a win.
Yeah.
Then that will not change, but Sundown is experienced enough, and in most of this scenario, from what I know, you send an advance pack
100%.
to prepare the terrain, to prepare the atmosphere, to make sure that everything is 100% before the team land. So that with hostilities or whatever shenanigan they it will be much easier for the team to overcome it, focus, concentrate on the game, and at the end of 90 minutes, do the job. It's simple as that.
Yeah. Captain, how much does the hostility and all these shenanigans outside of it influence the performance of the team?
They actually play a huge role.
Yes.
In influencing the match.
Okay.
And I say that because the home team benefits from that, simply because they get,
Yes.
pushed and they're hyped.
Yes.
So when you're playing against people who are very, very in the mood because of their supporters. They know there's people that are begging them. It's kind of a tricky task to overcome. But then, like Mamadou says, talking about the experience of Mamelodi Sundowns in the continent now. So you're talking about a team that has matured, now understanding that the demand of the match is actually in that four corners. So more than anything, you try by all means to ignore what might happen outside football. Of course, the Tanzanian supporters, passionate. And it's two teams really that side, Yanga and Simba, and you'll feel it when you get there. These ones, they belong here. These ones, they belong here. But like Mamadou is saying, the government have a plea that, please, guys, not this time around. We've got visitors in our house.
Yes.
Let's try to be united.
Yeah.
And they're trying that because they know that they can do that. They know how to separate and support their team like that. You know, for instance, when you are supporting a team that side, you are not allowed to wear even a casual T-shirt with some colors there that will look like you're supporting
the opposition.
So they hate other colors.
Okay.
So that as players, when you go to that space, already you feel that you don't belong there.
Yeah.
But then it gives you an advantage then to say you don't have anybody but your teammates. So you know that, okay, for us to overcome these obstacles, you must make sure that we together. Yeah, when you are together, of course, there will be mistakes.
100%.
But those mistakes, you'll be able to even cover them. They will never look like mistakes because that you are so much together that you trust each other in that space because nobody else is there.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's talk about the weather. Playing at 9 p.m., is that an advantage or a disadvantage to a team that is visiting?
No, it's an advantage for both teams because at the moment, everywhere in the world, people are crying about the heat.
Yes.
Even other people in Europe, they are moving to spring, but you have a temperature 25 degrees Celsius. Even in South Africa here, people can feel the heat. It's throughout the world today. Then playing at that time, it's much cooler, which is good for both teams. Really good for both teams. And I think also the coaches have a serious role to play. If you look at the younger coach, Gumondi,
he used to be here.
Yes, and that guy came in Africa with Oscar Filoni.
Yes, I
the
remember.
late Oscar Filoni. And he was assistant to Oscar Filoni, even when Aseg Mimosa won the Champions League in 95. From there, he coached in many African countries. You mentioned even South Africa, Morocco, Libya, Algeria. Then he is a seasoned and well-experienced coach, even though he's still fighting to win the Champions League on his own. And remember last year, Yanga surprised the entire continent in May last year to make it to the final of the Confederation Cup. For the first time in the history of Tanzania, a club could reach the final of the Confederation Cup. Now, that belief is there. They are saying to themselves, if we manage to reach the final of the Confederation Cup,
it means
why not the semi-final of the Champions League? You see, because that is the next step, that is the next target. And it's not going to be a walk in the park for Sundown. And if Sundown sleep on their laurel, they are in for a big shock and a big surprise. And a defeat of Sundown in Tanzania could compromise totally the return leg. Sundown have to make sure that they don't come back from Tanzania with a defeat.
It's definitely going to be a big one because I think the time as well of the game as you said, will be an advantage to both teams, but to football more especially, because the cooler it is, the better then the game can be played. But when it comes back in the second leg, 3 p.m. at Loftus, nobody comes out alive there.
But there, again, it will be the same for both teams. Remember that Tanzania also, they are in a very, very hot area.
And humid.
Humid. You see, and for Sundown also is the same thing. Maybe the difference will be the number of players fasting.
Oh yeah,
You
that
see,
can play
on the younger side, because I believe that the majority are Muslim. And if you look at the younger side also, they have almost 10 different nationalities in that club. 10 from Africa. You have Ivorian, Malian, DR Congo, Zambian, Ugandan, you name them. And those are international players. You see, who understand Africa. And I think if they come to the party, I know they have 3 Ivorian players. For example, one of them, Pacom Zuzwa. Even though Yanga is saying that some of the key players are injured, I think that is playing mind game with injury.
Is Stephen Key?
You see, just to surprise the opponent.
Is Stephen Key still there?
They say he's injured. Zuzwa, but
yeah.
he was called, he got a call up
in
to
the
the
national
national
team.
team. He's in France at the moment. How can an Indian player get a call up? It's just to warn Sundown.
Play mind games.
Mind game to be very,
like
very
that.
careful. On the Sundown side also, we hear the same thing.
No,
Some
which is
players
injured.
Mama, you know.
Injured. Then let's see what's going to happen.
It's interesting.
Chambers one is injured.
I like that when it's towards the big match where coaches don't want to reveal their cards early. So they try by all means that they play their cards closer to their chest, which makes it interesting even more, because when the supporters don't know much, they try to speculate and think what might happen. But it's very, very interesting to anticipate such a match.
Skipper, in a team that is full of internationals, language becomes a sort of a barrier. But I've heard you many a time saying on the field of play, there is a language that footballers speak that they all understand.
Yeah, there's no language here in football. And there is one language which only footballers will understand. And there's case studies everywhere. You see a South American goes to England,
China,
he plays. Remember Jensen Park? He never spoke one word of English, but he was the best player of Man United back in the days. I can say the same about Bangali when he got here, Serino when he got here. There's so many players that I can mention, but when you're in a football field, there's so many things that you can easily relate to and even communicate without having used words. And the eye contact, the body languages. So there's so many things that you can communicate with in a field of play. So I don't think having different nationalities will affect how you play. It's how you planned towards the match that will determine the result of the match. Of course, as you say, you're not playing against yourself. You're this opponent, which will make it difficult for you to play your normal game. But the language shouldn't be an issue.
I want to find out, is the majority of the Tanzanian people then, would we say they are Muslims?
Yeah, the majority are Muslim, but it's a like country. You have Christian and everybody. And when you look at the team also, it's completely mixed. You have Muslim, you have Christians, like the 3 Ivorian boys that are playing there. 2 are Christian, 1 is Muslim. You have DRC players and so on. And the 2 teams also are doing very well in the league.
Yes.
Sundown tops the league in South Africa. Yanga also tops the league in Tanzania. And if you look at it, the similarity is unbelievable. Most of them are on top with a margin of point between them and the number 2. There, the number 2 is Azam, but Yanga lost their last game against the number 2 Azam. Now they are going to face Mamelodi Sundowns on the back of a defeat, which is not the case of Sundown. All those little things could play a role in it. But just to tell you that at the moment, the two teams are doing extremely well in their league, and both teams obviously would like to to satisfy their public, and not only their fun, but to satisfy the country. Because remember, this is not only between two clubs, but this national affairs between two countries. Because before each game they sing the national anthem, and that's where also it became a national affair in Tanzania, and hopefully also it become a national affair in South Africa.
I like your colors that you're wearing. I can see that you've already chosen a winner. Yeah, you're matching with me and captain. We just need to add a badge here.
You're recruiting him already. You're good in recruitment. You're recruiting. So you put him under pressure with the cameras already. He mustn't say no.
No. We are Africans.
Yes.
And when you invite me to your house, I must come in a way that the welcome will be warm and nice.
Makes sense.
You see, I have to.
No, you are beating us mentally. I see.
I learned something. So when I come to Soweto, I must make sure that I wear the sporty.
No, but now what Soweto? You're talking about a very old Soweto now. I'm dressed in Rosmoda.
Oh, okay. And Delela.
Oh, I see Vale.
Okay. I was just checking.
No, I was on a recruitment drive here, but I see where you've beaten us mentally. What is your score prediction for the game?
No, but look, it's the first leg in Tanzania.
Yes.
And I think that when you look at that Tanzanian side, today, Yanga is capable of beating any team in Tanzania.
Yes.
Normally, that's how the game goes. And Sundown have a chance to play the second leg here. But honestly speaking, for me, I think a draw will be a fair result.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking that too.
No, I can't agree with
when I see 0-0 that side,
you know that we finish it at Loftus.
Yeah.
Or 1-1.
Oh, I don't want 1-1. That away goal.
But I believe that goal will be scored.
By the yellow team.
No, because if you look at the attacking force of the two clubs, then definitely you know that it will be goals. For sure.
In your opinion, is there advantage in playing away first or at home first?
Of course, the advantage is having the return leg at home.
Okay.
Because when you go there, you know the result, and you know now what to prepare at home, and if need be, you know how to mobilize the 12 men, which is very important. You see, that's the advantage, the 12 men. How do you organize and mobilize your 12 men to make sure that you have a jump-packed stadium in the color of your club? Which is very, very important. Yanga will not fail. That I can guarantee you. The stadium of 60,000 people will accommodate 80,000 people. That I can tell you already. Now, coming to Sundown, how many people will fit in
do
that
the same.
stadium.
Legend, we will do
No,
the same. I
no,
promise
we are
you.
covered.
Oh,
Loftus will be yellow.
Will be yellow. We'll make
The
sure.
drum will be loud.
Yeah.
3 p.m. at Loftus, nobody comes out of
But
there.
let me tell you, for Yanga, the game will be at 9 p.m.
Yes.
But believe me, during the day from 3 p.m. already, the stadium is
It's
packed.
full.
The Muslim will break their fast
Inside the stadium.
I know.
You see, that is the patience
patience,
there.
yeah.
And hopefully we will see the same thing here.
In Loftus.
In Loftus,
Yeah.
nobody comes. Mark my words. I'm going to bring you back here to sit down, and I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Nobody makes it out of Loftus.
Okay.
Okay, then
Ask Al Ahly, ask Wydad. They know the story. There. There's goals there. At
You
Loftus.
you see, when you play big team like Al Ahly
Yeah.
or Wydad, you don't need to tell much to the player to motivate.
We can motivate players.
But young Africans, they are coming in as an underdog. They have nothing to lose.
Okay.
And for the players, each and every players of that club, it will be an extra motivation. Even some of those players
They
would
want to
like
be here.
to impact. Why not to join Sundown?
Yeah, why not?
Because Sundown is one of the best clubs in
You know why they
Africa
want to
today.
come here? Trophies are here.
Yeah,
One
of
trophies.
course. Come
Everybody
here.
wants
Everyone
to
wants
join
to join the
Sundown.
Sun. Yeah.
Read that.
Yes.
Because they bring in trophy.
Yes.
Yes. Then
That's the fact.
Then the Sundown players
They
are
must-
warned, and they have to double up in their effort. If they take it for granted, they are in for a big shock.
Yellow Nation, you've heard the legend, you've heard Captain, as we say every week. Thank you very much for always supporting the team and coming to the stadium in your numbers. We will do it no different.
Yes.
Skupu will be louder. We'll
Wear the regalia.
regalia.
We'll wear the yellow regalia. And
Legend, thank you very much for your time. We really do appreciate your knowledge and all the information you have given
Yeah.
us. We are really looking forward to the game in Tanzania.
Beautiful game, and I think that is football. Football unites, football brings people together, and I think that this game will link the fun of Yanga and the fun of Mamelodi Sundowns to become one family.
Yes.
To unite under football. What politics cannot do, football can break all the barriers.
Amazing.
Because football brings millions of
people
followers
together.
together, centered on one game.
I do have some comments here from social media that I'd just like us to go through. Itumeleng says, I do have the WhatsApp Kabuyelo Forever as we did launch the channel. Please, guys, go on there, search for the Mamelodi Sundowns channel and do join us. There are already 400,000 people on that channel and it is growing. And then it's Rick Song says, thank you, Yellow Nation. We love you. And then Demru once again comes back and says, the league currently has only 2 head coaches who've won the league. This must not be taken for granted, and games against the 2 will be tough. My question is, what do derbies do? Is it enough for fundraising activities about numbers, or is it a game of consequence? You lose, or you lose your grip on the cup. So that's speaking about local derbies. So let's say the SuperSport Sundowns one. What is the significance of derbies?
it goes back to the culture.
Yes.
And it goes back to the pride of players and the clubs.
Yes.
So players knows that they can't lose against the rival, which is the derby is about. So at my time here at Sundowns, I always knew that we can't lose to SuperSport. And even my time at SuperSport, we knew that I can't lose to Mamelodi Sundowns. So that is a pride that we took amongst ourselves as players, but that's a role of a
Do you think derby, speaking now around the world, African football and everywhere else, do you think that the heritage of where the 2 clubs come from plays a big role in it? So, for example, if there's been a derby that has been played for 30, 40 years, it will always be bigger than a derby that is 10 years old. How important is the football heritage in that aspect?
If you look at most derbies, first of all, why is it so big, so interesting, and the rivalry is so strong? Most of the two clubs you will find out come from the same area,
Yes.
from the same township. Even going back to Tanzania, you take Yanga and Simba, they come from the same township. You take Chief and Pirate, they come from the same township. You mentioned Mamelodi Sundowns and Supersport. You see, that is the root core of the derby.
Yes.
When we are neighbors,
Yes.
I wake up in the morning, I see you through my window.
Yes.
You know that when we go into the pitch, it's very serious because my wife is watching, my children are watching, my grandparents are watching, all the neighborhood is watching. That was the key and the success of the derby because all the family
Divided.
are divided and involved in the township.
Yeah.
Because it's not only the 11 players, but it's everybody next door. They are talking about
100%.
it. That's where the strength of the derbies come. That's why it goes on for many years because people are born inside the derby because their grandparents, their parents, their neighbors, their cousins, everybody used to watch it. And the game used to take part within the community before they move it to bigger stadium or whatever.
100%.
But that's the secret of the derby. That's why you look at everywhere in the world, the two clubs are from the same township or same city.
Amazing. Thank you very much for your time once again. This is the Mamelodi Sundowns Pitchside Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments and or any questions that you might have. Captain is always here, ready to answer your questions.
Yes, sir.
We are Masandawana.
Sandawana.